Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're talking about autism and education and some special insight from my friend Chris from Special Books by Special Kids coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to the Aspie world. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia. I make weekly videos on this type of content, so if you're new around here and you want to learn more, remember to hit the subscribe button by hitting the notification bell, and anybody watching on Facebook, make sure to hit the like and follow button to see daily videos from me. Okay guys, so I'm joined today by a very interesting guy, super influential. I actually have seen a ton of your videos before, and you're a good friend of my friend Asa Moss from the Fathering Autism channel, which you guys obviously know a lot about. And Chris runs a channel called SBSK, which you kind of, how would you define your channel? You can take it away.
I like to say it's just an open platform for people living with different disabilities to share whatever it is they want to share.
Yeah.
Sometimes the interviews are just happy-go-lucky, sometimes they're incredibly sad. Because I want to give a platform for people to share their truth, whatever that truth may be.
No, absolutely. And it's amazing because what I feel like your channel does is it gives like a very neutral platform which non-biased, and it just says it as it is, and it's nice to give people a voice in that area, especially some of the people you interview don't really have a voice for saying what they want to say on a platform, you know, and I think that's super powerful. It's very powerful. So Chris, just before we get started, I'm talking about education and autism. We were talking about like metadata and optimizing video content for YouTube, and you said that you had a really interesting take on why you don't focus on metadata.
Yeah, like I don't even think about keywords. It's the last thing you do before you upload a video, and I'm always like, learn? Like, I don't know. But there's a very serious reason why I don't concern myself too much with analytics. Our goal is just to create essentially an encyclopedia of people living with different conditions and them explaining what life is like for them. So I have many people reach out to me, and I can't filter through who I want to interview based on what's going to go viral.
Of course.
Because that's just so counterproductive to our mission of inclusion for everybody.
Yeah.
So when you start to focus on, okay, what's the hot topic? What's the hot word?
You lose interest in the...
Exactly. You might not go to that interview of that person living with a rare disability across the world, but then the other families who also are affected by that disability will have no resource.
Absolutely.
And we're very fortunate that it's worked out for us. I understand that analytics and all that stuff does play a big part in the whole YouTube game.
It does now, yeah. I think it does now, yeah.
Yeah, but we've been good so far.
No, it's good, and I think it's great, and it's great to stick by the ethics and morals that you stand by, and especially with the type of advocacy that you're doing. I think it's amazing. But as you guys know, I'm obsessed with SEO and research, and so it's one of my obsessions actually of having an autism spectrum condition. I'm obsessed with learning certain things, and this has been one of the things.
Can you give me any advice then? Because I honestly am at the beginning.
Absolutely. Okay, so off camera, I'm going to give Chris a bunch of advice, so we will do that. So right now, we'll get into the content why people want to come and watch this video in the first place. Okay, so, right. I know for a fact that Chris is going to do a conference pretty soon in a couple of days on autism and education in the education or teaching or something in the education department or academia.
Yeah, so essentially I speak to parents and teachers of children with disabilities and teach them how to form a positive bond with somebody, and then how to take that bond and then use it to help that person reach their full potential, both socially and academically. And here's the thing, the same strategies you're going to use with somebody on the autism spectrum are the same strategies you're going to use with anybody. It's just that so often when somebody's neurodiverse, we overlook these strategies. And it's a simple strategy. It's something we all know. Everybody wants to be accepted.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we forget that everybody wants to be accepted, not on their future potential, but for their current state. Mm-hmm. So you take a kid who is typically developing. When he's at the place he's supposed to be, you're able to praise him. Oh, you're doing great. Oh my gosh, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. But when you have somebody who's behind a little bit, we're so focused on catching them up.
Yeah.
That we never praise them. We never tell them they're perfect just the way they are. And it creates this complex for these individuals at such an early age that, man, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. Everybody's trying to change me. Nobody likes me the way I am. I'll never fit in.
It's that unaccepting feeling. You don't feel accepted for who you are. You are trying to strive to be somebody that they want you to be, rather than just, like you said, being, having joy in the fact that you are diverse and individual. And I think that's something super powerful, actually. And I know from my experience, growing up in the 90s, having Aspergers syndrome, it's not, some of the most severe cases or conditions of an autism spectrum disorder. I know there are a bunch of kids who are nonverbal, and there's a whole host of things that could be, worse than having Aspergers Asperger's syndrome, but having Asperger's syndrome was a huge struggle for the fact that my learning type was almost ignored. So when I was in high school and when I was in primary school in the 90s, in the UK, it was just, autism wasn't even a thing you knew about, nobody knew anything about it. So I felt super excluded from the education establishment, and I felt outside of that opportunity bracket. So all my friends were, like you said, at a level, and they were developing at a certain rate, and of course there's me just like completely falling backwards, and with no support. So they put me in like special ed classes, which is just rubbish. It's colouring like pictures, and like it was just stupid. Like there was no math lessons. There were, you had to like circle things that were related, like circle all the sports apparatus or circle all the squares. It's like just weird stuff. Now,
the button real quick. Effective special education can be a great thing, but ineffective special education can be babysitting.
Of course, it can be the adverse effect. It can make you even worse because there's nothing stimulating.
Exactly.
So my partner used to work full time for a special education needs school. She has a degree in childhood studies and childhood development, specifically in autism. So she loves that kind of like how do you reach this person with communication? Like you said, having them feeling accepted, feeling like they belong, and reaching them with something that will help improve their, not really catch them up, but at their level, teach them effectively. So would you say that like now there's more understanding and schooling is better, or do you think that we still have huge ways to go?
We definitely do have huge ways to go. There is progress, but it's minimal progress. And it's almost like as a teacher, you have to have some kind of complex where you need everybody to listen to you all the time. You need to have this grandiose feeling about yourself. And in order to be inclusive, you have to let go of those feelings that, hey, this kid might have a processing time that's a little bit longer. He might not listen to you right away. And he's not doing anything to disrupt your class. He's not intentionally not listening and being non-compliant. You just might need a little extra time. Yeah. But so often, a teacher takes that non-compliance in the first few seconds and sees it as that child's not listening to me, so they punish that child.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's really just ignorance.
Yeah, and it is a huge thing. I mean, what would you say is the biggest issue facing, children on the spectrum being in the school or education systems? What would you say the biggest issue is?
Is everything a valid answer? It's,
I suppose it would be if that's what the answer is. If that's what the answer is.
The sad thing is that the answer is so simple. These things we're talking about, which people are learning in whatever 20-minute video, if teachers will taught this, it would change the way these kids are educated. It's so simple, yet it's not taught. I didn't learn this. I have my master's degree in education. I didn't learn this stuff. It's all from personal experience.
So, yeah, I mean, and that's true. I think, like, in terms of educating educators, how are we going to do that? What is it? Do you feel like it's going to be best with things like videos like this on your channel, or do you think it's like creating training programs to go into education establishments and academics to say, hey, okay, you need to really listen to this program? How do you think is the most effective way to solve this issue?
The way I think is most effective is for an individual and not a whole community is what I'm doing with my videos. I saw this problem when I was in the classroom, and I decided that I was going to model what I believe was the correct behavior. It's not like I have all the answers. I'm just trying the best I can. Yeah. But I was going to model it, and then through these videos I realized that I can model what I believe is the correct way to interact with people and have a large audience watch it. So I hope that through the videos I put out on SBSK, people can watch them and learn, okay, well, that's how I do that, or that's how I do that.
Definitely. I think, like, you guys have such a large audience base, and the shareability of your videos is so high. I believe that you are having a massive impact on helping educate and change the lives of people by simply putting it right, Like, I watched a lot of your videos, and the way your style and approach to it is so warming, and I love watching those videos. And for somebody on the spectrum watching it, I don't feel on edge, you know what I mean? So when I watch a lot of things, I'm like, oh God, I feel quite nervous when I watch things because I'm not sure where it's going to go. I don't know how they're going to do it. With your videos, they're so like calming. It's dead nice, and I enjoy watching it. Sometimes not even because I'm interested in that content, but I know that I'm going to enjoy it because it's relaxing in a way. But
Thank you.
it's good.
That means a lot to me, and I want to point out that it wasn't always like that. It was a learned process. Number one, being on camera and interviewing people, I was so uncomfortable at first because I'm not a camera person. I was a teacher.
Sure.
And if you watch some of my earlier videos, I'm really awkward. I mean, I'm still awkward now, I know that. But I was way more awkward in the beginning.
Yeah.
And even with the methodologies and techniques I use, it's all just learned experience. So if you're watching this and you feel like you're not confident in the way you interact with others, the only way you're going to learn is by practicing.
Absolutely. There's something to say on that, like practice makes progress, because everyone strives for perfect, right? But there's no such thing as perfect, because when you reach perfect, you'll just decline. So always remember that practice makes progress, and it relieves the pressure of you trying to reach perfect. Nothing's ever perfect, but you will get progress in it, and I think you're right. My first video on YouTube was terrible. I filmed on an iPad, there was no lighting, and I had no idea what a camera lens, to look at the camera lens, it wasn't happening. So it's something, again, it was a learning curve, and I feel like the takeaway from everything is that everything is a learning curve, and it may not be the teacher's fault that they're not able to effectively educate. Well, some of them may not be able to effectively educate people in a way that is correct, or not really correct, but in the best they can, because they may be unaware of the information that they need to get access to. And I think that it's our job as advocates and people watching videos like this to share it in those areas and recommend it to teachers, so that they do start to kind of then reach out to programs and come and see talks like you or I or whatever, to understand a bit more about that. And I think that that's a good way to do it as well.
And you reminded me of a philosophy I've always subscribed to since I entered the classroom, and it's just personal accountability. Oftentimes, if there's a student acting up, the blame will be placed on the student. Well, why is he doing this? Let's give him attention, let's punish him. Whenever that happened in my classroom, I would look at myself and say, why is this student not exhibiting the behavior that I want him to exhibit? What am I doing wrong? What's wrong with the environment? What can I tweak? So when you have that mindset, it makes you explore, it makes you change things, and you realize that there's nothing wrong with the kid.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with what you're doing.
Improvements that you need to implement.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry.
I've adapted that with my professional life. So if a video on my channel doesn't do well, I think to myself, okay, well, the person I interviewed was amazing. What did I do wrong? Did I ask the wrong questions? Did I edit it the wrong way? So when you take that personal accountability with everything in your life, it forces you to examine yourself, reflect, and get better.
Absolutely. That was something that I learned with YouTube, is you watch the video and you think, how can I improve this? And even if you think it's a good video, I think maybe the audio could be better. Maybe the position of the camera, the lighting could be better. Right now, I even know filming this that there's loads of things I could have done better. It may be overexposed in certain areas, and the color correction could be wrong. But if we apply those same principles to everything we do in life, if it's advocacy, education, understanding, promoting self-acceptance, I think we'd all kind of progress at a rapid rate, and it'd be good. It'd be good for everybody involved. But right, with that being said, Chris, I want to thank you so much for taking this time to come in the room and talk to us, because we're here in Boston right now doing an amazing thing. Actually, it's the Lead 20 Leaders Summit Conference, get together, networking. It's
everything, all encompassing.
Yeah, everything, and it's people like Chris and myself who are working in this field for advocacy for people with disabilities, doing amazing things. I will actually leave a link in the description below if you want to check out what we're actually doing here, because I feel like what we're doing, we're at the start of something absolutely phenomenal.
Certainly.
I'm super blessed and like honored to be here. So, and in the presence of people like Chris, it's absolutely amazing. And I've watched his videos, and now I was super like, oh my goodness, Chris is here. So it's amazing. Chris, I thank you so much.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure.
Absolutely.
You're doing great things on your channel. I look forward to watching your videos for years to come.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, and I'm saying and ditto. I love watching your videos. So yeah, awesome. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, obviously give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Peace. Okay, so are you good? I'm gonna do my thing, Alex.
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about autism and education and some interesting insight from my friend Chris. Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about autism and education from some personal insight and some information that my friend Chris from Special Books by Special Kids can add to this channel. Coming up. I'll edit that.
One more time without the squabble.
I can edit it. We'll do it one more time.
Okay. More takes the better, that's what I
know, it is. Hey guys, you good? Hey guys, in this video, I'm talking about autism and education with my...
You should just put this all in. I think
I know.
We're live.
Okay, here we go. Jables.